We begin with breaking news. You're looking at new video just into our newsroom this afternoon. This is from Parkland, Florida, where a school shooting has shaken a peaceful community.
You can see students running from the high school today. At least 7 people are dead. Several more are wounded. It's unclear how many are students. We have live team coverage of the shooting this afternoon. We start with KBOI2's Abigail Taylor live in the Satellite Center.
Brent and Natalie, investigators say the suspected shooter is now in custody. The Miami Herald reports his name is Nicholas Cruz. He's a former student of the school, and police arrested him off campus a couple hours after the shooting. Now I want to show you some aerial video of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. You can see the high school students running from the school, some of them with their hands above their heads. A student tells one of our sister stations in Florida that the gunman ran down the hallway of the school, shooting into the classrooms. The superintendent says it's possible the shooter was in and outside of the school before it happened. A former student visiting a teacher at the time of the shooting describes what she saw today.
The fire alarm got pulled and kids were evacuating. I heard 5 pops. And I was like, that's not a drill. I was like, and we never did a drill like that. And when we started evacuating towards the back of Westgate and towards the middle school, I knew that it was more than a drill because we've never done that.
Law enforcement have been going through each building of the school to make sure no one else is still inside. One student posted this picture on Instagram showing students hiding under their desks. Outside the school, an emotional scene as parents reunited with students. We have also seen video of students embracing one another, and several of the students who were actually trapped inside the school at the time of the shooting have been posting about it on social media. And my colleague Alexis Gorey has more on this team coverage with some of those dramatic images.
Yeah, Abigail, Alexis Gorey here in the studio to give you a look at today's events from the Banjo app. From the area of Parkland, Florida, people are taking to social media. Starting 3 hours ago, a student inside one of the classrooms tweeted, "Still locked in." I checked the local news and there is 20 victims. Long live Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High. Now next, people outside of the school took pictures of the scene with heavy police presence, trying to keep people as far back from the scene as possible. Now this next video shows you Broward County buses transporting students out of the school as parents wait impatiently to see their children. Now, knowing today is supposed to be a loving holiday, one student tweeted, "To love each other. You may never know when it may be the last day you meet someone." And this here, right here, you have people waiting outside in their Valentine's Day color shirts. It's a heartbreaking day. Brent and Natalie, back to you.
Alexis, thank you. We also want to mention that President Trump responded to the shooting today. He tweeted that he's working closely with Florida Governor Rick Scott and law enforcement. He also tweeted, quote, "My prayers and condolences to the families of the victims of the terrible Florida shooting. No child, teacher, or anyone else should ever feel unsafe in an American school."
Well, most of us here in Idaho are not familiar with Parkland, Florida, so here's a little more perspective on the community where today's school shooting took place. As you can see right here, it's located west of Boca Raton. More than 30,000 people live there, according to the Census Bureau. Now, this city has been known in Florida for its low crime rate. Schools across the country have been dealing with shootings this year. We continue our team coverage with KBOI2's Scott Logan. He's live in the newsroom with more on the most recent shootings that have taken place.
There have been multiple shootings at schools this year. I want to show you some of the most recent ones. Here's a look at the 3 most recent shootings that happened in New York City, Oxon Hill, Maryland, and in Los Angeles. It's worth noting the one in Los Angeles took place when a student unintentionally discharged a handgun. Live in the newsroom, Scott Logan, KBOI2 News.
Stay with us for continuing coverage of the school shooting in Florida. We have reporters working on the story here in Boise and at our sister stations across the country. We'll be updating you on developments every 15 minutes in this newscast. You can watch live video on the KBOI2 Facebook page right now and on idahonews.com. You can read more firsthand accounts from those students who escaped from the gun violence.